Hey everybody, welcome to the last part of the Hyrule Warriors playthrough. My name's Chris.
My name's Trey.
We are the console freaks. And in the last part, we got Zant and Girahim out of the way. So now it's time to deal with the Demon King himself. As we liberate the Triforce, apparently, is said in that corner.
And all of their allies.
Look at
Is
them
that
all.
their dash animation?
Yeah, pretty much. Probably.
Ready for the
Mid- face.
Everybody's head is cocked slightly to the side.
If they fell,
And looking in that direction. I wonder what's
Symbolizing
over there.
running fast.
The cock to the side. Just walk with my head cocked to the side all the time. What are
So-
you doing? I'm running.
So Trey, since I'm gonna try to get something a little bit relevant here. First of all, I love the atmosphere of this. Very, very dark.
Really dark. Yeah, really dark.
Team Ninja did this game. Team Ninja did Devil May Cry DMC. Have you played any of the Devil May Cry games?
Not all the way through. I played a couple here. I played one here and there. Just what was it? Devil May Cry 4?
Yeah,
4. Yeah.
I'm sure. The reason I ask is because I was going to try to do a comparison of hack and slash games. Try to compare the two genres, or try to compare different games in the same genre. And I was thinking about that. With this game, it's a little bit more combat based. No platforming at all. And where Devil May Cry, it's a little bit more focused on the platform side of things, with the occasional hack and slash elements of, the battles are very concentrated in that game, which, works for it pretty well. I really wish that, a bunch of enemies didn't just appear in my base. I mean, I just captured this thing.
Yeah.
Just captured this. Come on, guys. But the current objective is to defeat that. And his brother on the opposite side of it.
Well, good job.
But luckily, this is Link, so we are really overpowered.
But what were you saying about a Devil May Cry? Or
I already said it.
oh,
Been
okay.
paying attention.
Yeah, like
It's a little bit more
I thought
straight.
you were leading that. I thought you were leading that to a question or something.
I was just comparing it.
Oh yeah.
Like, at this point in the game, there's nothing really new is being brought to the table that we can really talk about.
Yeah.
We kill the giant bosses and, save our own asses.
Actually, that was one of the attacks that we haven't seen yet, though. And I remember you were talking about it.
that stomp attack, that's the only attack that he uses that does not leave him vulnerable to your item.
Well, he also used he was like breathing fire earlier, and it didn't do it.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was like supposed to glow blue.
It does glow blue. It's just after he finishes breathing fire.
Oh, okay.
Because that was the first time I dropped that it was from that attack. It's just you have to wait until after the fire breath.
Yeah.
Which can be kind of stupid to avoid, but
Ooh, calm down.
This final mission is kind of a combination between everything that we've seen so far. Aside from the using only, of course, the only boss, of course, that we've seen before is Argrok.
Yep.
But basically it combines, a little bit of the escort missions, a little bit of the find this and do this and, protect this, and it really does a good job as kind of the last thing, because it takes all the different gameplay mechanics and different things that you've come to be used to by this point, and it makes you have to think about how to deal with each circumstance.
Yeah.
Like right here, we have to escort a bomb chew, but it's going to walk right in the path of Argarok.
Yeah, you're not gonna make it over there, buddy.
Yeah, I thought I don't know what I was thinking at that particular point in time. Escorting bomb chews is probably the most tedious task. Though.
Yeah.
It's even worse than escorting like people, because your other characters are kind of have their own thing. This move you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, while he's doing that, he's vulnerable. It's just while he's charging up, he's not.
Okay, yeah.
Boy, I wish I could actually hit him.
It's a little bit too far away. I like how they try to come attack you while you're attacking them.
I'll help.
Yeah.
The answer is no. I personally think Argarok's one of the easiest giant bosses to get rid of, just because the attacks are easier than anything.
Like, he doesn't really like try to move it around whenever he does it. He just does it in just one straight line.
Yeah.
Pretty much just not be in front of him.
Yeah, and he actually has less attacks than, say, Dodongo or Manhandler.
Yeah.
Like, or even maybe it's just that, like, when I first played, you know, the only attacks that I saw from Goma were he used were basically his laser beams, and a couple of little like shockwave attacks type deals, little area of effect attacks, and it wasn't until fighting higher leveled versions that I started seeing some different attack patterns and some newer attacks that I hadn't seen at that point. So I'm thinking maybe it could be possibly the same thing, you know, hopefully. If not, then he's just a weak-ass boss. And there's nothing we can do about it except for accept him for who he is.
Love him for his weakness.
Yeah.
Poor guy. So what exactly is your objective? Well, capture the Westfield Keep. Never mind. There you go.
Ask a question, get an answer.
Thank you, Link.
That's the only time, though, that keep wall will be open.
Yeah, okay.
Also, it should be noted that this is actually just like a reskin of, you know, Hyrule Field is kind of it's a map that has probably 2 or 3 different reskins.
Yeah.
But I personally like this aesthetic for it. The Ganon's castle aesthetic. It really gives that foreboding final battle feeling.
Yeah.
It feels like the battlefield where you would have a final battle.
I'm really looking forward to seeing you fight Ganon, actually, because I wasn't here whenever you recorded this.
You've never seen that fight, have you?
No, I've never seen it.
I make a complete joke out of it. just going to give a little bit of a spoiler there. It is a very imposing fight. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, this as an entire mission just kind of adds all together all of the things that you've learned to deal with so far. The Ganon fight makes you use all the items that you've gotten used to dealing with. But more on that in a bit.
Yeah.
Ganondorf took all of that. I think that this iteration of Ganondorf is kind of his defenses are higher than anything else. And I always found it weird how sometimes enemies would have like super high stats under certain circumstances.
Stab. Oh, it looked like you missed him at first. Oh God, wasted again.
That would have sucked. I should also mention that at this point in time, that electric storm will hurt you.
Okay, yeah.
And it's there for the rest of this mission. So get used to it. I should also say that this was a particular point in time where I was looking for help and materials.
So will the storm actually hit you? Well, just if you're standing still, or is it just random spots?
I think it's just random spots. I want to say. I could very well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, at this particular time, I had no clue that my health was that low until right now. And then I realized, that's pretty low. I just wasn't paying attention. Like, your health bar, you're such a force majeure in this entire game, you tend to forget that you have health.
Yep.
Because, like, it's pretty infrequent that you actually get hit. I mean,
and
I've
whenever
gone
you
through
do get hit, it doesn't really seem like it.
Yeah.
Like, because you can just keep on going. Like, well, you'll flinch, but not a whole heck of a lot.
I mean, I've gone through entire missions where I haven't gotten hit.
Yeah.
But, you know, ever so often you find yourself losing health faster than anything else. And then you're stuck wondering, well, how the hell did that happen? Why did I fail the mission? It wasn't my fault. The game's rigged.
And those things.
But
Those
really,
are pretty
it's your
annoying,
fault
too.
because you weren't paying attention.
Yep. Now, whenever they're glowing red like that, it's because of their morale, right?
Right.
Yeah.
A bright glow is for blue or for green, or for blue or for red. Red is the other color. Is a good morale boost. Dark is a bad thing. Basically, it means that the morale is fallen, they die easier.
Yeah.
You have an advantage type deal.
Do you, like, I know with that move, don't you have to hold the attack button? Or
the one that I'm running around with now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to hold your strong attack button and hold that spin attack.
Okay, because I realized after every time you do the combo finisher for that one combo, you always do that too.
Well, actually, with a lot of Link's combos, he can do that. He basically, at the end of his combo, you can kind of set up for a spin attack.
Yeah.
You see how they're like glowing like a greenish hue now?
Yeah.
That's the bad one.
Gotcha. Huh.
We are victorious.
I could never be defeated. Lying on the floor, you say, I can never be defeated.
I don't think this surprised anyone. It certainly didn't surprise me.
He just smile. He's like,
You forgot, I still have this. This is kind of epic, though. As a final boss, this is really epic.
Ooh.
Hello, Ganon Pork.
Well, look at you, buddy. You are freaking huge.
He's a big fella. I have other places to be right now.
He's like, I'm leaving. I am God. Look at the way he walks.
He's
That's
a big
great.
fella. And so this is where basically you have to remember the tells for all of your enemies, because you have to be able to use your items to defeat Ganon. He has weaknesses to all of your items on the first half of his fight, and you can't, until you break all of his armor pieces, you can't do any damage to him. So you have to remember his tells, or the tells from like Manhandla, Argarok, Goma, and King Dodongo.
Yep.
Because you got to use all the items.
Huh.
It's all in all, it took me a grand total of probably a minute and a half during my first playthrough to realize what I had to do. But the problem is, during this fight, it seems that your input for your items is really delayed.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks. This was the only thing that confused me. was when he's shooting those seeds. I didn't know what to do. But after you defeat that part, you switch to your bow and arrow, and
Whoop.
you get infinite light arrows. As per usual, you have to use the light arrows to deal the finishing blow to Ganon. It's been a staple in the series forever. And so that's the way to weaken him. When you see that purple glowing on his head, that's when you shoot him with the light arrows. And from there, you just wail on him when he's weak. I'm kind of making a joke.
Jesus, health.
I'm really making a joke out of this fight.
It's so bad.
Luckily, after you destroy his armor parts and everything, they're gone. He doesn't grow them back. So that's
So he
just
just
the first half of the fight done, and it's just basically turns into a Mega Man X3 boss from there. It's back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
I didn't do it right going left. I'm gonna go right now. And that's it.
Oh, look at the beautiful, beautiful cutscenes.
With that, you've finished Hyrule Warriors.
Huh.
The pieces are restored to their rightful owners. Except for technically Ganondorf is the rightful owner of the Triforce of Power.
But they're just going to steal it from him because they can.
Yep. Use it right in front of his face, too.
I know. So, what was their wish?
Nothing, they just used the power.
Each one of them dead.
And once again, the day is saved. Thanks to... I thought we said goodbye to you once again. Where's your portals? You're not allowed to leave without portals.
They just don't. I just wouldn't question it. Cave Johnson says don't question it, so don't question it.
Fair enough.
But I'm not the one who should do that.
You two will always save Hyrule together. You know, I kind of saved Hyrule a bunch of times without her. She didn't really help me all the time.
All she did was just sit in the dungeon half the time, not doing a thing.
I mean, yeah, sure, she's helped me before. She's definitely no Princess Peach. She actually helps. But, really.
Oh, so now he has to put the sword back.
Yep.
He's like, I'm sorry, but you can't keep this.
It's okay, Link. If we both... I'll help this go in smoother.
Poor Link. He doesn't know.
And with that,
It's
over.
Like that's just like the emergency fire hydrant or the emergency fire axe. It's just if you need it, break the glass.
if not, just don't screw with it.
Just don't mess with it.
In case of Ganon.
Yeah.
Anyways, credit sequence. Great music for the credit sequence, by the way. Trey, final thoughts on the game?
I like it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I actually did enjoy you watching you play it and also playing it myself whenever I did get a chance. I do like how they have the I think we already talked about this, the co-op feature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about that early on. I like how you can actually play and it's not split screen. And the other thing I like is that people like me can also play this, like people that don't really know much about like The Legend of Zelda and stuff, because it actually explains everything. It explains what the explains what the Triforce is, explains what it does and all that jazz, and you don't really have to know the backstory of everything to get what's happening right now. And I do the thing I like the most actually is just the way that the characters look. Since me, I just like art stuff, and it just looks amazing, and it's like the best thing ever. That's really all I have to say about it at the moment. What are your thoughts on it?
Personally, after having played it for as much as I have, I think that the story mode itself is not worth the $60 price tag. The meat of the game comes from the extra stuff that you get to do. And as a whole, the game is really... Shigeru Miyamoto gets a whole screen just for himself. He's not even like on the team for this game. He just told people, or told team... Okay, I'm going off subject. Anyways... the game did a really good job at taking the universe of The Legend of Zelda and creating something completely different with that. And that's something that I can really appreciate. As a whole, the game does a good enough job at separating itself from what is expected of all the other games. And, you know, like you said, it does a good job at bringing somebody who's not familiar with the franchise and getting them interested in what Legend of Zelda is all about.
Yeah.
It's very easy to pick up and play. It's a beautiful game in all aspects.
Yes,
You mentioned the art design, but for me, it's music. You know, you're a graphic designer, I'm a musician. The musical compositions are everything that you'd come to enjoy from the Legend of Zelda series, just absolutely rocking and sometimes very atmospheric. Everything was put in its right place. I really can't recommend this game enough. As long as you are okay with a lackluster story in compared to the numerous other things that this game has to offer, you know, it really is something that's a good game to pick up.
Yep.
But anyways, that's the end of this playthrough. We will be back tomorrow, probably. I think tomorrow.
Yep.
With our next playthrough, which will be Pokemon Crystal. So until then, we will see you guys next time.
Goodbye.